Mr. Goldfinch is recognized in favor of 23A.
Whether or not she's in section. Good afternoon. As Mr. Lowe had told us earlier, we have sat here and we have listened to arguments on one side, and we have sat here and listened to arguments on the other side. But there's been one point that hasn't really been made. The point that hasn't been made is whether or not a criminal who walks into an alley and who attacks a pregnant woman has the same right to kill the child and the mother as the mother has to kill her own child. I will ask you that question. I'll pose it as an open question. Oh yeah, I'm in favor. I'm certainly in favor. I'm speaking in favor of the amendment here. Yeah, very similar to the way that you all have spoken in favor of your amendment. So the open question I would pose, once again, is whether or not the felon that attacks my wife, who is pregnant in an alley, and kills the baby, has the same rights as the mother who kills her own child in utero.
Mr. Goldfinch, I think Mr. Smith is willing to answer that question. Ms. Cobb-Hunter, he has yelled, you have about a minute and a half left.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A minute and a half. Let me tell you what the seriousness is of this amendment. What this amendment is attempting to do is to address the issue of maturity. Now, for this young man to come up here and use such an analogy, from my perspective, it's totally unbelievable and crosses the line. It is amazing to me how people will use arguments in ways that simply change the whole tone of this conversation. Mr. Speaker and members, what I think we all would agree is that we all have our opinion on here, but I don't think any of those of us, neither Mr. Smith nor myself or Mr. McKnight, used inflammatory language and came up here trying to incite anger like Mr. Goldfinch, Smith, whatever his name, just did. Goldstein. Yeah. Goldstein, so appropriate. Goldstein, so appropriate. Goldstein, so appropriate. So appropriate. So appropriate. Mr. Speaker and members, whether you agree or not, it's a serious matter to me. And I really don't appreciate having people come up here and try to turn this into something other than our disagreeing on a very fundamental right. To come up here and intentionally try to use language that will incite—
Ms. Cobb-Hunter, your time has expired. I apologize.